This is Normandy Orchards by Keith Marsden, and John Hipkiss asked me to do this one, so this is for you, John. You have to imagine I'm an 18-year-old girl, and it's wartime, Second World War, just before D-Day, and the village is getting full of soldiers and other artillery and everything else that went across the channel with D-Day for practice. They're building a camp on the cornfields at Allingham, bulldozers churning and changing the land. Long barbed wire fences and acres of tarmac, nissen huts raised where the crops used to stand. Wide-eyed young village girls, giggling and staring at tanks and transporters that darken the sky. There's convoys of lorries with fresh faces peering out. So many young men come learning to die. They say you can still hear the village hall band. Grey ghostly couples still glide round the floor. But Normandy orchards were waiting to welcome new partners for death in the mad dance of war. Mother has started a comforts committee, but Reverend John's more concerned about sin. Hughes at the White Swan is rubbing his hands a lot, watching the troops and the profits roll in. Eager young squaddies with overdone courtesy, tipping their caps to the girls going by. Yet too soon from school to be licentious soldiery. So many young men come learning to die. They say you can still hear the village hall band. Grey ghostly couples still glide round the floor. But Normandy orchards were waiting to welcome new partners for death in the mad dance of war. And Mother would have a blue fit if she knew about Lieutenant Johnson and walks in the wood. She's laid down the law and she's always gone on about men being beasts, so a girl must be good. But even she'd laugh at our clumsy propriety, me far too fearful and him far too shy. She might even pity his lonely bewilderment. One of the young men come learning to die. They say you can still hear the village hall band. Grey ghostly couples still glide round the floor. But Normandy orchards were waiting to welcome new partners for death in the mad dance of war. Peace came to Allingham many long years ago. Time passing by healed the scars on the land. Tanks on the village green, just a fond memory. Now corn grows again where the huts used to stand. And yet as I walk through the woods on a summer's night, by the tree's edge where the wind starts to sigh, I still hear their voices all rising in harmony. Lost, wasted young men come learning to die. They say you can still hear the village hall band. Grey ghostly couples still glide round the floor. But Normandy orchards were waiting to welcome new partners for death in the mad dance of war.